Most people nowadays have zero skills, but can still get away with it due to modern life. Oh yeah, so sounds so cliche. Oh, modern life has made us comfortable and weak. Yeah, okay, whatever. You've heard it a million times, but I have a different take to this. I hope you can listen out. So first, before I talk about what I have here in my notes, I want to talk about my background first because I feel like my personal background, my upbringing in life, has a significant effect to how I can get this train of thought and this perspective. And if you have a similar background or upbringing, you might have a similar perspective. So, a bit of background on myself, just quickly. I was the first child in my family and my extended family as well. So, like, my mom has like sisters and brothers, my dad has brothers and sisters. I mean, my dad only has brothers, but you get the point. Out of that extended family, I was the first child. I was the first child, basically. Yeah. So, how does this matter? Why does this matter? If you're a first child like me, you would probably know that we have a tendency to be relied upon by our parents, you know? You probably experience that, right? People tend to ask you for help because you're the oldest and all that stuff, you know? Basically that. So maybe since young you would be experiencing way more things than the average non first child. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I do notice this upon my friend group. Like, it's a personal thing. Like, I'm not judging them for their life, of course. I'm just saying it's something I notice. It's that I notice that my friends that are not first children tend to be less tend to be less assertive, tend to be less independent, tend to have less like wide tend to have a lesser variance of experiences in life compared to my other friends or my other people that I noticed to be first children, which is, I think, I'm pretty sure there's a correlation to that, you know. So now here's how I'm gonna link that to this existing and living analogy. I feel that most people that live this more, like, I'm not saying all first children are like this. I'm not saying first children are better than younger children. Like, that's not my point. I'm just saying that my upbringing as a first child, as the older sibling, gives me the perspective of like I need to be dependable and all that stuff, which leads me to this. I'm not saying one's better than the other, okay? I'm just saying that for some context, so maybe you can understand where I'm coming from. So, as I said, when you're the first child, you tend to be relied on for multiple things, which makes you required to be adaptive. You need to learn many things. You need to be dependable. You need to be independent at the same time, which ironically is kind of like forcing a child to go through this phase of living life. You're forced to experience life to the fullest. By doing all those stuff, you subconsciously start to just become an opportunist. You look for opportunities, you find opportunities, you think about which ones that you can take, and because of your wide variety of experiences of living life, you come out wiser, full of experiences, which is the skills that I was talking about when I said people have zero skills. I personally like this life better. Now, if you're not a first child, you can just do this by, just experiencing your life to the fullest. Now, I feel that most people who are, I mean, not just like little siblings, like second or third children, youngest people, no, but like most of people just nowadays just exist in life. They just do the bare minimum to stay alive as a human. So they just eat, drink, poop, and all that stuff, which is enabled by modern life, and that's completely okay. Like, if you want to live life like that, I don't care. Like, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, I personally like this better. And I notice this a lot nowadays too, enabled by via modern life. Like, for some more context, I am in Germany right now, right? I come from Indonesia and I am now in Germany. My location right now is very desirable for people from my country. There are many, many people from where I come from can only dream of being where I am right now. Not metaphorically, but quite literally, just to be in a European country. Since I have a Schengen visa and I also have a Deutschland ticket, With my Deutschland ticket, I can go to like Berlin, I can go to Cologne, I can go to Munich basically. I can go to Düsseldorf, I can go to whatever city I want in Germany for free using the regional train, because I have the Deutschland ticket. And since I have the Schengen visa, if I want to go to like France, I want to go to Italy, I can go to the Netherlands, I don't need a visa. I can just cross the border. I just need to pay for the ticket. That's a very big opportunity, which I feel that most people in literally my area, in my position, they don't give a damn about it. Like, once again, I'm not saying you should go like, oh, you need to travel or something, but I just feel like I'm in an amazing place right now. I have access to many things. I have the opportunity to check out many things. And it's like, I don't know why you would not take that opportunity, you know? Basically, yeah. And usually it's people with lots of dependence. They're not used to being assertive. They're not used to making decisions, and all that stuff. Like, once again, I'm not saying we're better than people. I'm not saying that first children are better than others. I'm just saying that this is what I'm noticing. Like, a bit off topic from the that, but for example, lots of people nowadays, honestly, they don't have they don't have skills for navigation. I've even seen this in my personal life sometimes. Like, but modern life allows us to, which is good. Like, for example, if you're lost in 2026, you have your phone, just open Google Maps. If let's say in the 1970s and you're lost in a random city here, what do you need to do? Like, okay, do you have a map with you? Okay, you check the map. Even if you're opening the map, you need to find where you are, right? You need to know where you are. Like, what's the use of a map if you don't know where you are, where your position is, right? And what if you don't have a map? Okay, fine. Do you have a compass at least? To, like, let's say you need to go north, somewhere north. Can you at least navigate north? Do you actually at least know where to go? That's also a navigation skill. And either that, if you don't have a compass, or you see somebody on the street, maybe you can ask directions, which is another thing about social skills. And what if you're in a different country? Language, more. Like, it takes skill just to be lost in the 1970s. Now, am I saying we should go back to the 1970s? Hell no. I much prefer this. I much prefer getting lost and just needing to open my Google Maps. But I'm just saying that due to all of this, due to not having dependence of this, okay, I found the link. So what I'm saying is, earlier about the first child thing, since we are forced to take up the skills, we have the skills which helps us, right? Like, let's say navigation and all that stuff, and like being opportunistic. Modern life doesn't need you to have those skills anymore. What's the point of knowing how to navigate if you can just open Google Maps? Which is why I said it's enabled via modern life, and it's completely fine. It's fine if you want to live like this, quite literally. Nobody's stopping you. You can still live. You can still be successful in life. I don't know about that though. I'm not successful either with my skills, but hey, I don't know. We're all trying to figure out life, right? But you get my point. And as I wrote here, it's also a personal observation that I found here too. By moving here to this new country, you can notice everyone is exposed. You can notice who has the skills, who is spoiled, who was spoiled at home, who is dependent, who is dependent. I said that twice. Who is adaptive, who can learn quickly, who can adapt to scenarios. And even me too, I've regressed. I'm not gonna lie, I've regressed with with more technology nowadays. Like, here in Germany, sometimes in supermarkets you have self-checkout kiosks, so you can just pay cashless, scan yourself without needing to talk to the cashier. Sometimes I fall in the habit of just doing that every single day when to the supermarket, which allows me to just go an entire day without talking to people, which I don't think is a good idea because I'm here trying to learn the language. I should be talking to as many people as possible, you know? I'm not perfect being either. I'm still a victim of this. Now, I also have this link here exposed to this. So In Indonesia, we have this thing called ART, which stands for Asisten Rumah Tangga. So basically, it's just an assistant in your home that helps clean your stuff, help manage your home. Sometimes families hire an ART because, like, maybe both of, like mine, for example, both of my parents go to work. I go to school and all that stuff, right? So nobody's at home. We hire an ART to come every morning. So she would clean our clothes, do our laundry, uh, wipe wipe the windows, sweep the floor, mop the floor, and all that stuff. Basically, yeah. This also has an effect. Let's say you are somebody who has a cleaner at home, like, right? What do you need to do? You can do nothing. You don't need to do anything, and your house, your clothes, all that stuff will be clean. You just need to pay this person, and your house is clean. It smells good. Your clothes are clean, ready to wear, already ironed, and all that stuff already. But what if you don't have a cleaner? Okay, you want a clean room? Okay, zelfs machen. You gotta do it yourself. There's dust on the floor. You gotta clean that yourself. You gotta sweep it. You gotta mop it. You're hungry. You want food. With an ART, sometimes you can just ask them to like cook you something, like mine does. You can do that too. But no, you either buy Gojek, which is another thing, like Uber Eats basically, or you gotta cook it yourself. So with just by not having a cleaner, not having a cleaner to depend on, you will be forced to have general life skills, which by the way many adults surprisingly do not have. I'm 20 years old and there's many people who don't know how to do basic life skills. It's honestly quite surprising. Now, had a cleaner at home. I think the reason why I could still have the good skills is because of two factors. One, during COVID, of course, my cleaner could not come because COVID, everyone's staying at home. So she kind of like had a layoff basically. And I'm grateful too that my parents always taught me to be independent. Since young, they've always taught me all these skills. So, if anything, I was the one that surprised when I was like, wait, what? You're telling me people don't know how to sweep? You're telling me people don't know how to clean their clothes? Isn't that a normal skill? Isn't everyone supposed to be able to do that? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I have the solution here, in my opinion. What's the solution here? In my opinion, it's the middle way. I don't think you should be the reliant person that can just exist through life without having any skills, without having any hardships that develop you. But at the same time, I'm not someone that's like, oh yeah, anti-tech. Life should be uncomfortable. Yeah, comfort is the killer of man, so chase discomfort as much as possible. No, don't have a phone. Don't use GPS. No, no, and like don't be a lone wolf too. And like, oh, I'm not dependent to anything. No, you can apply this to your life too. It's just that, just be someone that's more competent, have more experiences, wiser, and just have the desire to experience things in life. It's just that simple. That's what I think, at least. So, thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you can get something out of this one, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much for tuning in.